Mugg and Zung are dead. A stuffed wombat production.
This is the Shirehampton Stuffed Wombat Society with their performance of Mugg and Zung Are Dead. Well, they would be, wouldn't they? Because they're about to fall to their deaths. Of course, it's all Mugg's fault.
Come on, Zung, keep up.
Do we always have to take the steepest route?
Absolutely, old boy. It's good for the soul. Well, the heart, actually. Gets the old blood pumping. Anyway, the other route takes so much longer. I say, look at that view. Breathtaking, isn't it?
I'm not sure I have any breath left to take away. Why have we come up here anyway? What was it you wanted to show me?
The waterfall. It's supposed to be famous. Can't remember the name exactly. It's something like Rickenblatt or Offenbach. That's German anyway.
Why does that name ring vague alarm bells?
No idea. Come on, let's get a picture of ourselves next to the falls.
What? No. You're not suggesting we climb over the fence to get this picture, are you? I mean, that sign with the word Achtung and the raised hand doesn't exactly scream, please come on over.
You're not going to go all health and safety on me, are you? We're children of the 60s, you and me. Look, when we were kids, we climbed trees, went for long walks unsupervised by adults, and did loads of stupidly dangerous things. I like to think we have a healthy attitude to risk.
Okay, but I'm doing this against my better judgment.
Good man. Right, onwards. Just swing my leg over this fence. There. Do you need a hand?
No, I'm fine.
I think we'll get the best picture if we go out onto this plateau next to the waterfall.
Come
on.
It's a bit slippery. Oh, help!
Careful, Zung. Grab my hand. Whoa,
Mugg, where are we, old boy?
I don't know. I can't see with all this mist swirling around us.
Well, I can't hear the waterfall anymore. Oh, hang on, the mist's clearing.
Indeed. Look. There's a small gate up ahead.
Why would someone put an off-white garden gate in the middle of nowhere? Did that person just appear behind the gate, or were they always there?
I think... I really don't know. Let's go and ask where we are.
Crumbs, that was a lot further than it looked. Excuse me, where...
Welcome to heaven.
What?
I said, welcome to heaven.
Yes, we heard you the first time.
I'm Angel Angela. I'd like to extend a warm welcome.
Why are we here?
Well, you died, obviously.
But this can't be heaven.
Why not?
Well, where are the massive pearly gates and the Archangel Gabriel? I mean, you don't even have any wings.
Oh, Gabriel only does saints and VIPs. All other arrivals are handled by one of the lesser angels. And as for the wings, that's a common misconception. Why would a supernatural being need wings to fly?
Fair point.
Right. Now, who are you?
What? You mean you don't know who we are? I would have thought that our deaths would be preordained. You know, part of some grand plan.
Well, they are, sort of. Sometimes they're a bit like yodel deliveries. You know they're coming, but you don't know exactly where they'll arrive or when. Anyway, if you can give me your names, I can get you checked in.
You're making heaven sound like a hotel.
Names.
Dick Zung.
Major General Timothy Mugg, OBE.
I said names. Titles and ranks are irrelevant here.
Timothy Mugg.
Right. Let's get you ticked off the list. I can't seem to find you on the list.
isn't there a search function?
What? On a paper-based system?
Paper-based system? I'd have expected it to be something ultra-modern and futuristic.
It is modern. We've only just upgraded from tablets of stone. I can't tell you how awkward it was ticking people off. I was never any good with a chisel. The number of tablets I broke. Yes, God's quite conservative when it comes to technology. Keeps muttering that it's the work of the devil.
OK, so why aren't we on the list?
What religion would you say you were? Christian? Muslim? Hindu? Perhaps you've come to the wrong entrance.
I'm an atheist.
Ooh, now that's going to be a bit of a problem. At best, you'll be sent to purgatory, and at worst, you're going to hell.
Can't I change my mind now I'm here? If I'd known there was a God and a heaven, I'd have believed.
Ah, but that's the whole point. It's all about faith. You need to seek salvation before you're admitted to heaven. Are you sure you didn't have a last-minute change of heart?
I might have screamed something along the lines of, "Oh, God, save me," as I fell. Does that count?
Well, it's close enough. God is pretty merciful on the whole. You must have caught God on a good day. Welcome to heaven, Dick Zung. Now, what about you, Mr. Mugg? Did you undergo a similar Damascene conversion and ask for forgiveness? God loves those last-minute winners, you know. Deep into extra time, then out of the blue, a sinner repents.
Yes, I must have done. Ah, I remember now. I think I recall saying, "Oh God, save me. Please forgive my sins and have mercy on my soul."
Yes. That's quite a lot of words to pack into a 2-second fall. Oh, look! Both your names have magically appeared on my list.
Phew, that's a relief.
So, that's Dick Zung, tick. Timothy Mugg, tick. 2 more for Team God. Go, God!
Yay, go God!
Ouch! Why did you kick me, son? Oh yes, go God.
Right. So the next question I have for you is what kind of heaven you're expecting.
What do you mean? Isn't there just one heaven?
Oh, no.
Why don't you walk us through the options?
Well, there's the Catholic heaven. Lots of gold, very blingy, and enough incense to give you lung cancer. Not that that matters much, you're dead already.
Thanks for reminding us.
Then there's a whole range of Protestant heavens. You could go for the Cromwellian heaven. Lots of hard benches, almost no music or dancing to speak of, but you do get a fantastic view of God's little toe.
I think that's a no from me then.
Maybe you'd prefer the evangelical style. What do you call it back home? The Happy Clappy Church. I'd only recommend that, though, if you're a big fan of gospel music or Bob Marley.
Look, isn't there a plain old-fashioned Church of England type heaven? You know, one with lots of home baking, garden fetes and singing Jerusalem.
Absolutely. That's a very popular choice. Are you both happy with that?
Yes.
Right. Come on in. Let me show you around. It's through this door.
Oh, that felt weird. Like I'd been split into 1,000 pieces, like light through a prism.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, don't worry. That's the fragmentation process.
The what?
The fragmentation process. You're split into your true self and an almost infinite number of simulacrum copies or shadows.
Why?
Well, how else would heaven work? If you only had your real selves in one heaven, then how could you possibly resolve the conflict between different wills?
I'm not sure I follow.
Let's take a common example then. A husband and wife turn up in heaven. One of them believes that they're in a perfect relationship. The other wants to have the odd affair. In heaven A, the one who believes the relationship is perfect has a shadow partner who conforms to their wishes. In Heaven B, the real partner is free to have as many affairs as they like. The spouse is only the shadow and complies with their partner's wishes. Does that make sense?
Sort of. So, do I take it that Dick is a shadow to me, and in his heaven, I'm a shadow to him?
Got it in one. Think of it as a many worlds interpretation, only applied to heaven. Hugh Everett was terribly excited when he arrived.
Who?
Hugh Everett, the human physicist who first came up with the idea of the many worlds interpretation for quantum mechanics. He said he'd never felt so vindicated. Of course, I didn't like to point out that he was only the first human to come up with the idea.
OK, so in Dick's heaven, if he wants to spend all day in the Baked Bean Museum, it's only the shadow me that's bored out of their brains. I'm guessing the conversation has diverged a little from the one in the Zung-centred heaven.
It has. Dick, are you really that big a fan of baked beans?
Absolutely. Food of the gods.
God.
What? Oh, yes. Food of the god.
No. God hates baked beans. Last time God ate them, it caused a terrible bout of wind. One particular emission knocked an asteroid off course and wiped out the dinosaurs. Hundreds of millions of years' work down the drain. It took God years to perfect those Wi-Fi antennae.
What Wi-Fi antennae?
The ones on their head.
You mean their horns?
Well, they might look like horns, but they were actually Wi-Fi antennae. How else are they going to communicate over long distances? Anyway, baked beans effectively killed off the dinosaurs, albeit indirectly.
Why do I suddenly feel vindicated in my view of baked beans?
Probably because this is your heaven, not Dick's. Anyway, let's get back to the tour. What do you think?
I assume this is the entrance hall.
Why do you say that?
It's quite small.
Oh, I'm afraid that's it.
What? One room? That's all? It's only marginally bigger than my living room.
Well, heaven only has a finite amount of space. Think of all the combinatorial issues of each person having their own personalised universe. Then, of course, there are the dogs, the cats, the elephants, the giraffes, the goldfish, etc. I think Noah was surprised at how many things he had to pack onto that ark too.
Sorry, do dogs get a heaven too?
Of course.
I thought the Bible said something along the lines that only people, that is humans, went to heaven.
Yes. And who wrote the Bible? Humans.
Surely goldfish don't get a heaven.
Why not? Have you ever had a conversation with the goldfish about their religious beliefs?
Well, no. I didn't think they said anything.
Haven't you seen them in one of those goldfish bowls, opening and closing their mouths?
They're always doing that. They're not talking. That's just what goldfish do,
And roughly translated, what they're saying is, when I get out of this bowl, you finless bastard, I'm going to... Well, you get the picture. I'll admit that they are a little repetitive, but there's not much to discuss if you're stuck in a tiny bowl with no company for years on end.
Crumbs?
Precisely. Don't be quite so quick to judge in future.
Right. So let me get this straight. There are a huge number of human heavens and an even bigger number of animals.
Sorry, do goldfish have heavens where they can stick the humans in a bowl?
Oh, that's just the start of it.
Blimey.
Anyway, getting back to the number of heavens, even taking into account the human-animal heaven combinations, it's still not an infinite number.
Yes, but you're forgetting the insects.
Insects?
And the bacteria. Yes, we have all God's creatures here.
Come on, now you really are pulling our leg.
And why wouldn't bacteria want their own heaven? Then there are the viruses. Very simple souls viruses. All they want is total universal domination. They are completely uninterested in material possessions.
Really?
Anyway, let's move on. Come and have a look through your window. Isn't that a fabulous view?
OK, let me have a look. All I can see are stars.
And planet Earth.
But it's just a small blue dot. I'd need a telescope to see that.
Unfortunately, only bronze tier residents get a telescope.
You can't seriously be suggesting that heaven has a hierarchy with respect to its features.
Of course we do. Why would anyone want to spend their life devoted to doing God's work and all that praying if it wasn't for the prayer miles?
So I'm going to be stuck in this room for eternity with just a single window and no telescope to see Earth?
You could always try pray as you go.
Retrospectively?
Yes, I reckon a couple of years' quiet contemplation of the majesty of God and how you could have been a better servant might get you a small pair of field binoculars.
Oh, brilliant. And how long would something as powerful as, say, the James Webb Telescope take me?
Oh, probably a couple of million years.
Oh, so not long then.
What's a million years when you've got all eternity to play with? It's virtually nothing.
So, what do the silver and gold tier residents get then?
Oh, loads more stuff. I'll bring a brochure round to you later. I mean, you should see what the Diamond Plus lot get.
Let me guess. A small bungalow with a perfectly manicured garden and an outdoor swimming pool.
Yes. How on earth did you work that out? Of course, you missed out the regular cup of tea with God. Well, I say regular. It's more sort of every million years. But hey, God coming round to tea. Hallelujah. Praise be.
So we're stuck here in this single room with just the basics then?
Like I said, there's always the pray as you go upgrade route. I'm sure a little dedication will get you to bronze tier in no time. Anyway, you can always imagine a better environment.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. You can imagine, say, being in a park. You'll have scenes of trees and grass projected on the walls. You can imagine other people too. The only restriction is that you can't actually walk that far. So you have to imagine the scene moving rather than moving yourself. It does take a bit of practice, but I'm sure you'll get used to it.
Sounds a bit like some fancy virtual reality.
It is. Look, why don't you give it a quick try? Imagine you're in Dick's sitting room and he's bringing you a cup of tea. Go on.
OK. Right. Ooh, the walls are changing colour. Blues, whites, flowery wallpaper, a mantelpiece. Where's Dick gone?
He's bringing the tea, remember?
Could you get the door, Mug? This tray is quite heavy.
Just a sec.
See, it's not all that bad.
It's a bit pixelated round the edges.
I'm sure that will improve with a couple of years of practice. Why don't you try something else?
OK. Ooh, the walls are white again.
It's just a continuity glitch in your imagination. Concentrate.
Hey, Mug, I think you've got it. It looks like a Scottish hillside. Is that Heather?
Must be.
Who's that running towards us?
I don't know.
Whoever they are, they've got no clothes on.
But they've got red hair.
But they're singing something.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
Blimey, that's not something you see every day. Princess Freckles running through the heather naked.
Crikey, I have absolutely no idea where that came from. I can't stand the sound of music.
I hope she checks for sheep ticks.
Look, I'm sure you'll work out how to control the system properly soon enough. Right, last thing. The environmental controls. This one's for temperature, this one's for the humidity, and that one there's for lighting.
OK.
Would you mind keeping the heating levels down to what's strictly necessary? God's really keen to limit heaven's carbon emissions. The devil can be a bit arsey when it comes to accepting carbon offsets. But as God likes to point out, pumping the CO2 down to hell does stop it freezing over.
Fine. Hang on. Why does the temperature dial go up to 500 degrees centigrade then? I don't think anyone is going to want to roast themselves alive.
Oh, for sure. But what about the creatures that live around hydrothermal vents? They like it nice and toasty.
Ah, yes, It is rather difficult to shape the idea of an anthropogenic heaven.
What are these dials for?
I wouldn't mess with those ones if I were you. Those ones control the fundamental forces of nature. You know, gravity, electromagnetism, motherly love, etc. It took God eons to get them set so the universe made any sense.
Why bother putting the dial on the wall, then?
Oh, God loves a good laugh. Some physicists come along and think they can tweak the settings to improve the universe. You know, decreasing the strength of gravity instead of actually trying to lose weight. Only the other day, some smart-ass Nobel laureate came in and started fiddling with the strong nuclear force dial. His hand fell off about 2 nanoseconds later.
I bet he learned his lesson then.
Well, he certainly had an infrared face. Boom, boom.
Oh, very funny.
Right, great. Unless there are any more questions, I'll leave you to it.
Where do we go to get a cup of tea?
And perhaps a slice of cake?
You're perfectly entitled to imagine any of those things, but you won't be needing the real thing. You're dead, remember?
There's no need to rub it in.
Oh, one last thing. Try not to break anything. Jesus is brilliant at carpentry, but not that great at plumbing or electrical work. Sorry, that's the doorbell. Moustache. That'll be another new resident requiring an induction. Bye!
Bollocks.
What are we going to do? I thought heaven would be far more exciting.
Perhaps your heaven is. You might be imagining wallowing in a bath of baked beans for all I know. The you I get here is just fulfilling my needs and expectations.
Well, I'm sorry, old boy. There's not much I can do about that if I'm simply your imagination whatnot of me.
Hang on, I've got it.
What?
I think I can see a loophole. If you get what you want in heaven, then all I need to do is imagine I'm undead.
OK, but what about me? I'd still be dead.
Well, there's nothing to stop you imagining being undead too. Come on, let's imagine I didn't suggest we climb over that fence at the waterfall.
Ready when you are, old boy.
Right. 3, 2, 1, and focus.
Oi! You can both cut that out right now. God won't countenance losing any of the flock. Behave, or you'll have limits placed on what you can do in your heaven. Now, I'll be off, and don't try anything like that again.
Oh, God.
Mind your language.
Oh, good grief, this is awful. I wish I were dead rather than suffer an eternity of this.
We are dead.
This can't be happening. Come on, Zung, keep up.
Do we always have to take the steepest route?
Absolutely, old boy. It's good for the soul.
Mr. Mugg! Mr. Mugg! Blimey, it's Obadiah Scragg.
In my tin machine. He's bloody stolen the time machine I invented.
Mr. Mugg, please listen. Don't climb over that fence.
Why?
Because you and your friend die.
Really?
Yes, definitely.
So why is a servant of our greatest foe, Adolf Brussel, bothering to warn us? In my tin machine, I might add.
Because he's become utterly insufferable without you two to keep him in check. And you expect us to believe you? Come on, Mugg. There must be something pretty spectacular on the other side of the fence.
Absolutely. The Reichenbach Falls.
Ooh, I've always wanted to see them. That's where Sherlock Holmes is supposed to have met his death.
Correct. Come on, follow me.
No, wait. Mugg, where are we, old boy?
I don't know with all this mist. Oh, look. There's someone at the gate just up ahead.
Oh, yes, so there is. Hello?
I suppose you think that was funny. Your little stunt?
Sorry, I don't follow.
Escaping from heaven using a time machine to avoid your own deaths. Well, God doesn't look kindly on that sort of behaviour. It's hell for you two. Goodbye, and don't come back.
At last! We've been expecting you, Timothy Mugg.
I don't like the look of him.
Agreed, those horns look particularly aggressive.
It's the red skin and the yellow cat-like eyes I had in mind. He looks like some sort of demon.
Right, you two. Let's get you to Hell Reception so I can get you checked in. Unfortunately, the monorail's broken, so you'll be on the replacement bus service.
Oh, that's fine. No rush. I'm not exactly dying to get into hell.
You're dead already, mate.
Fair point. Blimey, it's rather warm down here.
Look, sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Damon the Demon, servant to my master, Lord Beelzebub.
Is there anywhere we can get a cup of tea, while we wait?
Oh, sure. See that fountain of brown stuff over there?
Yes. Is that where we get the tea?
Well, it's certainly the only thing around here you can vaguely drink.
It looks a bit strong for my taste. I hope it has an Earl Grey option.
I doubt it. The tea's shite, if you get my drift.
Oh, is it some cheap brand?
Gordon Bennett, you two are as thick as mince. Do you really think the devil would offer hot drinks? It's a fountain of crap in liquid form.
Isn't that a bit unhygienic?
Bloody morons! God, help me! Oh dear. No, I didn't mean...
Blimey, that was close. Crumbs, it seems to have vaporised Damon.
Don't look now, but I think his big brother is coming.
Well. At last. Mugg and Zung. You know, I've been dying to meet you both.
Bloody hell. That's Beelzebub themselves. What do we do now?
Pray for a miracle. Come on, Zung, keep up.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Flo, isn't it?
That's right. Teenage time traveller extraordinaire.
Fancy meeting you here.
I just popped by, back to say they're offering free tea and cakes at Greta's Gâteau Cafe this afternoon. But they shut at 4 p.m. I don't think you'd want to miss out on free cake.
Well, quite. Come on, Mug, I'm parched. I think we've walked far enough anyway.
Hang on, what about the waterfall?
Oh, I'm sure it'll still be there tomorrow.
Don't worry, it will be. And so will you with any luck.
Come on, Mug, hurry up. If we're quick, we might even manage to sneak 2 bits of cake.
Oh, by the way, be careful when you cross the road to the cafe. Watch out for the number 13 bus.
What an odd thing to say.
Surely you don't want to die just because you're in a hurry to eat some cake. That would seem, well, incredibly pointless.
Indeed it would. Well, thanks for the advice.
No problem. Bye.
What a nice young lady.
Yes. Anyway, we have an appointment with some cake, and I can hear my tummy rumbling.
Lead the way, old boy.
Mugg and Zung Are Dead was written by Tim Reed and starred Richard Hall as the announcer, Dick Zung and Obadiah Scragg. Tim Reed was Timothy Mugg, Sam McCann was Angel Angela, Hazel Hall was Princess Freckles, Freddie Gorton was Damon the Demon, Beth McCann was the Devil, and Florence Smith was Flo. Sound effects were given a decent burial, and it was a stuffed wombat production.